Welcome back to our channel, Soap fans. Today is a phenomenal day to dive into the most explosive drama Los Angeles has to offer. We have a massive, game-changing breakdown for you today. So buckle up and let's get right into the heat of the action. Boom! The heavy oak doors to the Forrester Creations CEO office are about to be kicked wide open. And what awaits on the other side is a scandal of absolutely epic proportions. John Finn Finnegan is on a direct collision course with destiny, and the catastrophic fallout of his next move will leave you completely breathless. Let's set the stage for the most heart-stopping, adrenaline-fueled confrontation of the entire year. Finn has just survived the most agonizing, suffocating transatlantic flight of his entire life. The deafening echo of Steffy Forrester Finnegan violently hurling her wedding ring at his chest on that sun-drenched Monaco beach is playing on a relentless, torturous loop in his mind. He knows he messed up. He knows his guilty silence about Sheila crashing their romantic getaway was a catastrophic miscalculation. And now, he is racing against the clock to save his shattered marriage before the damage becomes permanent. The tires of his cab screech against the Los Angeles pavement. Finn sprints through the towering glass doors of the Forrester building like a man possessed. He doesn't stop for the receptionist. He doesn't wait for the pleasantries. His heart is pounding a frantic, desperate rhythm against his ribs. Every single second feels like an agonizing eternity. He hits the elevator button, his knuckles white, his breath ragged. He has to get to his wife. He has to explain. He has to fix this. But Finn has absolutely no idea what he is about to walk into. He thinks he is arriving to find a furious, cold Steffy ready to hand him divorce papers. He is completely unprepared for the devastating, dangerous reality waiting for him on the top floor. The elevator doors slide open. The executive hallway is dark, silent, and heavy with impending doom. Finn marches toward the CO office, his jaw clenched, his eyes burning with a desperate, unwavering resolve. He reaches for the heavy brass handle. He turns it. He pushes the door open, and the world completely stops spinning. Inside the dimly lit office, the air is thick with the sharp scent of expensive alcohol and raw, unfiltered heartbreak. The scene before Finn is a gut punch of catastrophic proportions. Steffy is there, but she is not the fierce, unyielding co-CEO he expected. She is heavily intoxicated, her defenses completely obliterated, her walls entirely torn down, and she is not alone. Carter Walton is right there beside her. The Forrester COO is drowning in his own agonizing despair. Daphne has just walked out on him, shattered by her devastating early menopause diagnosis. Carter's lifelong dream of a family has been violently ripped away, leaving him a hollow, broken man. Two shattered souls, alone in the dark, fueled by immense grief and premium liquor. The proximity is incredibly dangerous. The vulnerability is absolute poison to a marriage teetering on the brink of destruction. When Finn bursts through the door, he catches them in a moment of shocking, undeniable intimacy. Steffy is leaning heavily on Carter, their bodies tangled in a desperate search for comfort. The physical closeness is electric, charged with the kind of raw, emotional intensity that easily crosses the line into a catastrophic betrayal. Their faces are inches apart, sharing the same heavy, alcohol-laced air. Finn freezes. The oxygen is instantly sucked out of the room. Carter snaps to attention, his eyes wide, his protective instincts flaring as he straightens up from the leather sofa. Steffy blinks through the heavy haze of alcohol, her tear-stained face registering the sudden, explosive arrival of her husband. This is the absolute peak of high-stakes urgency. The tension in that room is a physical weight, pressing down on all three of them. Finn's worst nightmare is playing out right in front of his eyes. He didn't just lose his wife's trust in Monaco. He is dangerously close to losing her entirely to another man. The silence is deafening. The visual of his wife seeking refuge in the arms of the Forrester COO is a dagger straight to Finn's heart. But Finn does not rage. He does not attack Carter. He doesn't throw a punch or demand answers. Instead, he does the one thing that strips away every single ounce of his pride. He drops to his knees. Right there, on the floor of the Forrester CEO office, John Finnegan surrenders completely. The sight is absolutely jarring. This handsome, successful, proud doctor is reduced to a begging, desperate shell of a man. He crawls toward his wife, his hands trembling as he reaches out for her. "I'm sorry," he pleads, his voice cracking, echoing through the heavy silence of the room.
"I am so sorry, Steffy."
He looks up at her, his eyes swimming with desperate, agonizing tears. He knows that his weird, inexplicable bond with his biological mother has pushed his wife to the absolute brink of insanity. He knows that his failure to protect her from Sheila's creeping shadow has shattered her sense of safety. He knows he has to make the ultimate choice right here, right now, or he will walk out of this building a divorced man. "She is dead to me," Finn vows, his voice suddenly dropping into a fierce, unwavering growl. "Sheila is dead to me, Steffy. I swear it to you on my life." The words hang in the air like a heavy, irreversible verdict. Finn is laying it all on the line. He promises, with every fiber of his being, that he will never, ever let that psychopathic monster near their family again. He will cut the cord. He will burn the bridge. He will do whatever it takes to prove his absolute loyalty to his wife. He stares into Steffy's eyes, begging her to see the truth in his soul. Steffy stares down at the man kneeling before her. The alcohol is still coursing through her veins, blurring the edges of the room, but the sheer intensity of Finn's vow cuts straight through the haze. However, her trauma is real. Her fear is feral. This is the woman who left them bleeding out in a filthy alleyway. This is the woman who shot them point blank. Steffy's trauma isn't just a bad memory. It's a living, breathing nightmare, and she refuses to let it sleep in her house ever again. She steps away from Carter, her posture stiffening, her Forrester spine turning to steel. She looks at Finn, her eyes cold, hard, and unyielding. She is not going to make this easy. She has been burned too many times by his naive belief in Sheila's redemption. "Words aren't enough, Finn," she hisses, her voice trembling with a potent, venomous cocktail of rage and heartbreak. "You want this marriage? You want me?" You cut her out completely. No visits. No calls. No second chances. Total, absolute elimination from our lives. That is my final ultimatum. It is a brutal, non-negotiable demand. Steffy is drawing a line in the sand with a blowtorch. Cross it and the marriage is ash. She glares at him, demanding an immediate, binding agreement. But what neither Finn nor Steffy realizes is that they are not alone in this high-stakes showdown. Outside the frosted glass door of the CEO office, a dark, ominous shadow lingers. Sheila, the infamous, nine-toed villain, has followed her son. She has crept through the halls of Forrester Creations, lurking in the shadows, listening to every single agonizing word. She hears the desperation in Finn's voice. She hears him declare her dead to him. She hears the absolute terror and hatred in Steffy's brutal ultimatum. And for the very first time in decades, the sociopathic armor completely cracks. Sheila realizes, in a moment of crushing, devastating clarity, that her relentless obsession is the exact poison destroying the only person she truly loves. She is the reason her son is on his knees, begging for scraps of forgiveness. She is the reason his marriage is bleeding out on the floor. Her presence is a toxic radioactive cloud, and it is suffocating her own flesh and blood. The heavy oak door slowly creaks open. Finn and Steffy whip their heads around. The oxygen instantly vanishes from the room. Carter tenses, his fists clenching, ready to spring into action to protect Steffy. Sheila steps into the dim light, but she is not smirking. She is not armed. She is not plotting a sinister, calculated revenge. Tears, real, raw, agonizing tears, are streaming down the villain's face. It is a shocking, surreal, reality-bending sight. The monster of Los Angeles is weeping uncontrollably. Her shoulders shake with the weight of 1,000 sins. You don't have to choose, Finn, Sheila whispers, her voice breaking, shattering the tense, suffocating silence of the office. Steffy glares at her, a feral snarl forming on her lips, ready to unleash a vicious verbal assault. But Sheila raises a trembling hand, stopping the Forrester co-CEO in her tracks. The sheer defeat in Sheila's eyes is paralyzing. I heard everything, Sheila continues, her eyes locked on her kneeling son. I see what I've done. I see the pain I've caused you. I just wanted a family. I just wanted my boy. But I am destroying you. A heavy, guttural sob wrecks Sheila's frame. The drama is completely off the charts. This is a historic, unprecedented moment for the bold and the beautiful. The ultimate villain is staring her own monstrous reflection in the face and choosing to surrender. I am leaving, Sheila vows, her voice gaining a desperate, tragic strength. I am leaving Los Angeles. Forever. You will never see my face again. I am doing this for you, Finn, so you can be happy. The shockwave that hits the room is palpable. Did Sheila just surrender? Did the ultimate villain just sacrifice her own deeply selfish desires for the sake of her son's marriage? She turns on her heel. She doesn't look back. The door clicks shut behind her, leaving a stunned, breathless, heavy silence in her wake. The threat has vanished into the night, taking her toxic obsession with her. Finn slowly rises from the floor. He looks at Steffy. The threat is gone. The monster has banished herself. The ultimate condition of Steffy's brutal ultimatum has been met by the villain herself. It is a miracle wrapped in a tragedy. Steffy's breathing is shallow. The adrenaline is fading, leaving her exhausted, vulnerable, and completely overwhelmed. She looks at the man she loves. She looks at the lengths he was willing to go, the absolute, humiliating surrender he just displayed on the floor of her office. He chose her. He finally, truly chose her. Slowly, with trembling fingers, Steffy reaches into her pocket. She pulls out the glittering, heavy diamond wedding band she had hurled at him in Monaco. Finn's breath catches in his throat. His eyes track her every movement. Steffy slides the ring back onto her finger. The gesture is small, but the implication is massive. The marriage survives. The Finnegan family is intact. They have weathered the most violent storm of their entire relationship. Finn pulls her into a desperate, crushing embrace. He buries his face in her hair, thanking God, thanking the universe, that he didn't lose the love of his life. He holds her tight, believing that the nightmare is finally over. But this is a soap opera, and happy endings are always built on a foundation of ticking time bombs. As Finn holds his wife, his eyes closed in sheer relief, the camera slowly pans over Steffy's shoulder. It lands squarely on Carter Walton, still standing in the deep shadows of the office. Carter's eyes meet Steffy's over Finn's shoulder. A heavy, unspoken, dangerous weight hangs between them. Yes, the ring is back on. Yes, Sheila is gone. But what exactly happened in this office before Finn kicked that door open? Steffy was intoxicated. She was shattered. She was leaning on a man who was equally broken and desperate for comfort. The emotional intimacy they shared in the dark, fueled by premium liquor and devastating grief, crossed a dangerous, invisible line. The way Carter held her, the way Steffy melted into his embrace. It was a moment of profound, undeniable weakness that bordered on absolute betrayal. They share a look of heavy guilt, a look of a shared, dark secret. Steffy may have taken her husband back, but she has just planted a massive, venomous seed of betrayal right in the heart of Forrester Creations. She is hiding a truth that could shatter Finn's newly restored faith in a heartbeat. How far did Steffy and Carter actually go before the door opened? What intimate secrets were whispered in the dark before Finn arrived? And how long can they keep this explosive, scandalous truth hidden from a husband who just sacrificed his own mother to save his marriage? The peace is restored, but the foundation is completely rotten. This newfound reconciliation is a fragile glass house. and Carter Walton is holding a massive stone. The tension is going to eat Steffy alive, and when this secret inevitably claws its way to the surface, the fallout will be apocalyptic. Will this dark secret obliterate Steffy and Finn's marriage for good? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and brace yourselves for the next massive breakdown.